Hello everybody, this is Roy and this is the third video for the core file system tutorials. In the first video, we learned how to configure the basic core file system in a regular PC with the Linux distribution Ubuntu installed. And in the second video, we learned how to implement our own customized applications in core file system. I suppose you still remember what the applications did. The application is called MPU 6050, and what it does is to print out a sentence which is "go to hell" on terminal when we start core file system. And in the third video, which is the one you are watching, we are going to learn how to specify dependencies for our applications. But let's review what we did in the second video. So let's go to core file system, cFS 6.5, and we open the terminal. We type the command source set variables here. That's a shell script. And we go to the directory where the makefile we need is cd build CPU1. As you can see, there is a makefile, and all the make rules are included in this file. So okay, the first step, make real clean. Second, make configure. And the last step, make. Alright, so now we are after make we can see there is a folder called exe. So our executable of the core file system is there. So let's go to exe. Okay, the green one, the binary file is our executable for core file system. So let's see. Okay, let's just sudo core. So you can see the application is printing out a sentence called "go to hell" on the terminal. Okay, so now let's stop it. Today we are going to learn how to define a function we are going to use in our application in another header file and .c file. Here let's just make real clean to restore to go back to the original state. Okay, real clean. All right. Now, before we really go to the core file system, I will use a simple example to show you what we generally do to include dependencies in our a tiny program. Okay, now you can see here I define a main.c, which is the file where the integer main function is. And what this guy does is, okay, we can have a name here, a string called Roy. That's my name, whatever. And we call the function which is print "you suck" name. So what I want this guy to do is print out a name and say, "Hey, Roy, you suck," or something like that. And here you can see we include a header file called "you suck" and on the desktop here. Okay, in this, okay, we just open "you suck" .h file, and you can see there is only one declaration of a function here. We declare a function which called print uSuck, and we will define the function in a uSuck.c file. So here we declare a function in .h excuse me, in .h, the header file, and we tell the compiler what to do if you want, how to define or what the function is going to do in a .c file with the same name, uSuck.c, uSuck.h. That's just a general practice. We want these two files to have the same name. Okay. So here we have a definition. Of a print uSuck file, print uSuck function. So here, then as you can see, you will print out the sentence which is uSuck, and we print out the name first, then we print out the sentence uSuck next. So in the main.c file, we have an integer main. We have an integer main function, which is the main body of our program, and the integer main function called a print uSuck function. We define here, and we define and declare in the header file and .c file. So what if I want to make executable of this guy? Well, we just open terminal and we go to where they are, cd desktop, then we type gcc main.c and uSuck.c -o, and we want to make it executable. Let's just call it exe. Alright, you can see the executable pops up. The executable pops up. Okay, so what if I just run this executable? See, the sentence is print out on terminal. Alright, so let's review the command we just used. As you can see here, we type the command gcc, which is the compiler for the C program, in my Ubuntu machine, main.c, and this is a dependency uSuck.c, and we use a flag called -o, and exe is the name of the executable we want to make. So here is the question. How do we do the same thing to core file system? How do we specify the dependencies, or where should we specify the dependencies, and where should we put our header file with the declaration of function, and the .c file with the definition of the function? Alright, so this is what we are going to do today. We are going to have our application. Call a function defined outside the source code. So okay, so let's go to the cFS folder. Let's go to the cFS 6.5 directory. Now we go to apps. I suppose you still remember the application's name. The application's name is MPU 6050. MPU 6050. Fly software. Source code. You can see this is our app main. This is where our app main is. The MPU 650 app-app.c file. Alright, so okay. Generally, the first idea, we need to include this guy here. We want to include our head file, so which is called usuck.h here, and this is the function we are going to call here. So let's go to the appman. Okay. Okay, I suppose you still remember this is where we print out our go to hell sentence. The sentence go to hell. You suck. Okay, whatever. Really. Okay, so we just include the header file in this f.c file, and we also call the function. So the first question, where should I put our definition and declaration of the function? Where should I put them? Well, it's simple. We just put these two files in a place where the .c file is. So let's just put here. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so let's go to. Is that all? We can try. Alright. Oh, oops. So let's follow the general procedure. Let's follow a general procedure. Source set variable cd view CPU1 make real link make configure. Oh, oops. Make configure make. It looks good so far, but is that really the case? Are we really fine here? You might say, hey, see, the core file system executable is there, so what's wrong? Well, let's try it. Okay, did you notice what is wrong here? Well, go to hell. The sentence go to hell doesn't show up. Let's see whether there is any error message. See, could not load CFE application file. Well, for some reason, core file system likes to implement an error message like this. Not very understandable. But let's just stop it. Okay, go back. CPU1 make real. Okay, so what's the problem? Well, I suppose you still remember when we were using gcc command to specify the dependency and the linkage. We need to tell the compiler gcc the dependency, which is usuck.c. We need to make it clear. So, okay, now what should we do here? What should we do to core file system to tell it, hey dude, you need to link usuck.c to this application? The answer is the make file for our application, or MPU 6050. So where is it? Well, this guy. For build, it is in the directory for build. See, the make file. Okay, let's refill the path to what we need. Apps, application, which is MPU 6050, flash software for build make file. So you might be wondering, okay, here, object files required to build subsystem. You should feel familiar with this guy because we have seen it like many times. MPU650-app, but it is called .o. What's wrong here? Well, nothing is really wrong. Nothing is really wrong. It is just because in the makefile we already define. Okay, every time we saw a .o in the file, in the makefile, we interpret it as .c. So not really a big deal. So usuck.c, and we specify the file here. Save it. Alright. Everything should be good right now. And let's check. If we make it, if we succeed, then cFS system should print out the two sentences, which is "go to hell," and the other is "Roy, you suck." So let's see whether it is the case. Okay, so CFE CX.5, open terminal, source, set variable, cd build CPU1, make real clean, then make configure, and then make. Oops, error. Hold on a second. Did I forget to put delay? Source. What heck? What heck? Why? Oh, sorry, not .c. We should call it .o. My bad, .o. But the big idea is the same. We need to specify it here. Okay, make real clean, make configure, make. Alright, so the executable is done. Go to ex sudo cFS. See? Go to hell, Roy, you suck. Go to hell, Roy, you suck. Alright, so we are done today. This is all for the third video for cFS system tutorials. And what we did in this video, what we learned here is how to specify the dependencies file in cFS system. Okay, so this is story. Okay, thanks for watching.